Sanji, commonly known as Black Leg Sanji, is the suave and chivalrous cook of the Straw Hat Pirates. He is a master chef who ensures his crew is always well fed, driven by the belief that no one, friend or foe, should ever go hungry. Versus Might Guy is an elite Jōnin. Unlike most ninja who rely on ninjutsu, Guy has zero natural talent for them. Instead, he dedicated his life to mastering Taijutsu through sheer grueling hard work, becoming arguably the strongest physical fighter in the series' history. I'm the Shannon, and I'm here to analyze their powers, their durability, and their sheer versatility to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight.
Sanji was born as Vinsmoke Sanji, the third son of the powerful Vinsmoke family, rulers of the Germa Kingdom. From birth, he was supposed to be a perfect, emotionless super soldier. But instead of becoming a heartless weapon like his siblings, Sanji was born human. He felt compassion, he felt empathy, and for that, he was treated as a failure. Locked away, abused, and mocked by his own family, Sanji made a choice that would define his entire life. He rejected his bloodline and escaped. After fleeing Germa, Sanji's life took a dramatic turn when he met Zeph, a former pirate who ran the floating restaurant Baratier. Stranded together and facing starvation, Zeph sacrificed his own legs so Sanji could live. That moment forged Sanji's unbreakable belief: food is sacred, and no one deserves to starve. From that day on, Sanji wasn't just a chef, he became a protector. Everything changed when Monkey D. Luffy showed up. Seeing Sanji's strength, skill, and heart, Luffy invited him to join the Straw Hat Pirates. And just like that, the former prince became a pirate chasing a dream, the legendary All Blue, a sea where all the world's oceans meet. For a chef, it's paradise. For Sanji, it represents freedom. But don't let the suit fool you. Sanji is an absolute monster in combat. As part of the infamous Monster Trio, alongside Luffy and Zoro, Sanji fights using only his legs in his iconic black leg style, keeping his hands safe for cooking. His speed, intelligence, and raw power make him one of the most dangerous fighters on the crew. Visually, Sanji stands out instantly. Blonde hair covering one eye, a sharp black suit, a cigarette always in hand, and those iconic spiral eyebrows. But here's the twist. When his dormant Vinsmoke genetics awaken, even his eyebrows change direction, symbolizing the battle between his past and who he chooses to be. And that's what makes Sanji special. When people talk about power in One Piece, the conversation usually starts with fists, swords, haki, or devil fruits that can shatter islands. But Sanji's power was never meant to look obvious. It wasn't flashy at first. It didn't come from a lineage he embraced or a destiny he chased. It came from discipline, suffering, and choice. And by the time the story reaches Wano and Egghead, it becomes clear. Sanji is not just strong. He is terrifyingly complete. Let's talk about his powers, his durability, and why his versatility makes him one of the most dangerous fighters in the world of One Piece. Let's start with his powers. Sanji's power didn't begin with science, it began in a kitchen. Years of harsh training under Zeph forged a body that was already superhuman. From his earliest fights, Sanji was overpowering pirates, lifting grown men with ease, and defeating fishmen in their own element. His strength is uniquely focused. The black leg style channels everything into his legs, turning his kicks into weapons capable of shattering steel and tearing through buildings. When Diable Jambe emerged, Sanji added intense heat through sheer passion, allowing him to burn through iron bodies, advanced martial techniques, and heavy armor. Wano marked the true evolution. Sanji's dormant genes awakened, giving him monstrous durability and explosive power. This led to Ifrit Jambe, blue-white flames fueled and stabilized by armament haki, producing devastating, fight-ending kicks, powerful enough to overwhelm and defeat Queen, an ancient Zoan commander. Combined with elite observation haki that lets him sense danger and react at extreme speeds, Sanji now stands as a commander-tier plus fighter. Fast, precise, and overwhelmingly lethal when he goes all out. Now, his durability. Sanji's durability is one of his most underrated traits, becoming downright absurd after Wano. Even before his genetic awakening, he survived island-level attacks, pacifista lasers, crushing underwater pressure, lightning, and devastating blows that should have killed him. Yet pain and broken bones never stopped him. After his exoskeleton awakened, his durability skyrocketed. Swords shatter against his skin, bullets bounce off, his body instantly repairs itself, and damage that was once fatal becomes trivial. Remarkably, he can tank attacks without relying on armament haki, and when haki is added, his survivability reaches another level entirely. On top of that, Sanji can generate blue flames intense enough to incinerate others while taking no damage himself, giving him extreme heat resistance. Sanji doesn't just survive attacks, he shrugs them off and keeps fighting. Lastly, his versatility. Sanji's true danger isn't just his power or durability, it's his versatility. He can fight anywhere, on land, in the air with Skywalk, and underwater with Blue Walk, removing the usual limits human fighters face. His extreme speed lets him attack from impossible angles, move faster than perception, and even outpace future sight, giving him control over the flow of battle. Combined with observation haki, Sanji dictates when fights start and end. But his versatility goes beyond combat. He's a tactician who infiltrates enemy territory, sabotages plans, rescues allies, and turns losing situations into victories through intelligence. In battle and war alike, Sanji is more than a fighter. He's a striker, scout, protector, and rescuer rolled into one.
If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for your support.
In the world of Naruto, where power is often inherited through bloodlines, Kekkei Genkai, or destiny, Might Guy stands as a testament to the sheer power of human will. Often initially perceived as a comic relief character due to his eccentric behavior, Guy is arguably one of the most tragic and heroic figures in the series. He represents the philosophy that hard work can rival, and even surpass, natural genius. Might Guy's story begins with his father, Might Dewey. Known mockingly by the village as the Eternal Genin, Dewey was a ninja who never ascended the ranks and was ridiculed for his lack of talent. Despite this, Dewey maintained an unshakable optimism and a belief in the springtime of youth. Guy, who was born with little talent for ninjutsu or genjutsu, faced similar ridicule. He failed his initial entrance exam to the Ninja Academy, but was eventually accepted as an alternate due to his physical persistence. While Guy can technically use very basic ninjutsu, he chose to focus almost exclusively on Taijutsu to prove that he could be a splendid ninja without relying on magical arts. Might Guy's appearance is deliberately over the top and uncool, standing in sharp contrast to the sleek, edgy look of characters like Kakashi or Sasuke. He wears a tight green jumpsuit with orange leg warmers, practical for Taijutsu, but constantly mocked as a fashion disaster. His glossy bowl cut and famously thick eyebrows earn him nicknames like Master Centipede Brows. Tying it all together is his trademark nice guy pose. A blinding smile, a thumbs up, and that iconic ping sound. Guy is the embodiment of hot-blooded energy. He is loud, prone to dramatic outbursts of tears, and obsessed with the concept of youth, seishun. However, beneath the boisterous exterior lies a deeply wise and empathetic teacher. He is defined as much by his heart as his strength. As a teacher, he saw himself in Rock Lee, a ninja unable to use ninjutsu, and devoted his life to proving that hard work itself is a talent, shaping Lee into a formidable shinobi. As a rival, Guy's constant challenges to Kakashi weren't just jokes. They were his way of keeping Kakashi grounded and alive emotionally. Beneath the humor, Guy served as Kakashi's quiet support, helping him endure his grief and trauma. Might Guy is a legendary shinobi who achieved greatness not through natural talent, but through relentless effort and unwavering determination. Despite a weak start, his potential was recognized early by Sakumo Hatake, and he eventually rose to become one of Konoha's strongest ninja. Let's talk about his extraordinary power, durability, and combat versatility earned him the respect of both allies and enemies, securing his legacy in Konohagakure's history. 1. Powers. Might Guy's overwhelming power is defined by his absolute devotion to Taijutsu, a path he chose after realizing his limitations in ninjutsu and genjutsu. Rather than being a weakness, this specialization became his greatest strength. Through relentless training and unwavering discipline, Guy perfected the strong fist style and mastered multiple forms of hand-to-hand combat. His fighting approach is highly adaptive and unpredictable, allowing him to dismantle opponents using nothing but physical technique. This mastery was so profound that Madara Uchiha, one of the most powerful shinobi to ever exist, openly declared Guy the greatest taijutsu user he had ever faced, a level of recognition almost unheard of. Even without relying on chakra enhancement, Guy's raw physical abilities are extraordinary. His strikes carry enough force to send enemies crashing through solid rock or embed them deep into stone walls, while his speed allows him to close distances and land decisive blows before opponents can react. These feats alone place him far above most shinobi, proving that pure physical training can rival even the most powerful chakra-based techniques. His reflexes, stamina, and combat instincts further elevate him, enabling him to endure prolonged battles against elite opponents without slowing down. At the pinnacle of his power stands the 8th Gate of Death. By opening it, Guy sacrifices his own life force in exchange for absolute physical supremacy. In this state, he unleashed techniques like the Evening Elephant, powerful enough to shatter Madara Uchiha's defenses, and the ultimate attack, Night Guy. This single kick was so forceful that it warped space itself and nearly killed Madara while he was the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, drawing comparisons to Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage. Few moments in shinobi history demonstrate such raw, overwhelming power, cementing Might Guy as a symbol of human potential pushed to its absolute limit. 2. Durability. Guy's durability rivals his power. The strain of the 8 inner gates is immense, yet his conditioning lets him endure what would kill most. By the 4th Shinobi World War, he could repeatedly use the 7th gate and survive the 8th. Even after injuries that ended his ninja career, he adapted, restructuring his fighting style around his limited mobility, using flips, knee strikes, and handsprings to stay effective. His resilience, stamina, and rapid recovery cement his reputation as an unyielding force. Lastly, versatility. Might Guy's combat prowess extends well beyond taijutsu. He has working knowledge of ninjutsu and genjutsu, can summon tortoises, dispel high-level genjutsu, and recognize complex techniques. Though he rarely uses his fire and lightning chakra natures in battle, they showcase his versatility. Guy is also skilled in weapon combat, particularly nunchaku, and has trained others like Tenten in ninja tools. Strategically, he adapts to opponents' abilities, such as countering the Sharingan by focusing on feet instead of eyes, demonstrating his tactical intelligence and adaptability.
All right, let's dive into this. Sanji versus Might Guy. They're both iconic superpowered characters from different universes, and each brings something unique to the fight. This fight takes place under completely random conditions. No prep time, no prior knowledge, and neither fighter knows anything about the other. Now, I'll analyze their powers, their durability, and their sheer versatility to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. 1. Powers. Sanji is a Commander Tier Plus fighter whose refined haki defines his power, elite observation for speed and awareness, and armament enhancing his kicks. With Ifrit Jambe, he fuses haki and heat to overwhelm top commanders like Queen in direct combat, while Might Guy is the pinnacle of Taijutsu, a pure physical monster whose speed, skill, and striking power eclipse nearly all shinobi. Even in base and lower gates, he is an elite close combatant. But the 8th gate elevates him to God tier, where his attacks bend space and nearly kill Ten-Tails Madara. Edge on powers? Might Guy Guy. His overwhelming peak power, especially with the 8th gate, allows him to end the fight before Sanji's advantages can matter. In a one-on-one showdown, Might Guy's decisive god-tier burst gives him the victory. 2. Durability. Sanji's durability skyrocketed after Wano. He survives island-level attacks, bullets, lightning, and extreme heat, heals instantly, and grows stronger under punishment. Haki and his blue flames make him nearly unstoppable, while Might Guy's durability stems from his extreme training and mastery of the 8 gates, allowing him to survive attacks that would instantly kill most shinobi. Even after devastating injuries, he adapts his style, showcasing extraordinary resilience, stamina, and combat endurance. Edge on durability? Might Guy. While Sanji's toughness is immense and boosted by his exoskeleton, Guy endures world-ending attacks and extreme self-damage through the 8 gates, surpassing even Sanji's peak survivability. Lastly, versatility. Sanji's true strength is his adaptability, excelling in any environment, on land, in the air with Skywalk, or underwater with Blue Walk, while his speed and observation haki let him control the tempo of battle. Beyond raw combat, he is a strategic operative capable of infiltration, rescuing allies, and turning disadvantages into victories. While Might Guy's combat skills go beyond Taijutsu, including knowledge of ninjutsu and genjutsu, summoning, weapon proficiency, and the ability to counter complex techniques and illusions, combined with his strategic intelligence and adaptability, like exploiting opponents' weaknesses and attacking from unconventional angles, he becomes an unpredictable and formidable fighter. Edge on versatility? Might Guy. His combat adaptability, ninjutsu, genjutsu, weapons, and tactics edges out Sanji, whose mobility and multi-role skills are impressive but less unpredictable. And with all this, Might Guy wins!